Hi, my name is Spencer Salzner with the University of Akron's Anesthesia program, and today I'm going to show you a machine checkoff according to FDA guidelines. So the first thing when you walk into the OR in the morning is you'll check for emergency resuscitation equipment, which includes an ambu bag, it's properly functioning, and has a mask on it. The next thing you'll do is you'll check for adequate suction, on, functioning, make sure it's on full and within reach. And then the next part you'll check is your high pressure system, which includes your cylinders on the back of the machine. The wrench has two sides to help you turn and open the valve, open the cylinder. And after you've opened it and the pressure's gone in the system, you can close it. On the front of the machine, you can see your pressures for the cylinders and your pipeline pressures. So this is our oxygen cylinder, which is adequate in case we would lose our pipeline pressure. So at this point, you can unplug your pipeline pressure, hit your O2 flush valve, and I'm waiting for the machine to turn on so we hear our low O2 pressure alarm. You'll see the pressure go down from the cylinder and you'll hear the machine alarm. And as you can see, low drive gas pressure. And then you can plug back in to the pipeline. So that's a safety feature in case you would lose driveline pressure. It would automatically alarm and you know you have a full cylinder to turn to. The next part is we would check the low pressure system. The way you check the low pressure system is at the common gas outlet, and we don't have the bulb to show you, but you would switch from the machine to the common gas outlet and attach the bulb, squeeze it until it's flat, and make sure that no pressure is leaking within that system. Like I said, we don't have the bulb. So I'm going to switch back to the machine. The next thing you can check is properly functioning flow meters. So your oxygen, air, and in this machine we don't have nitrous, but you would try to deliver a hypoxic mixture to the patient, and as you see, as I turn nitrous, oxygen automatically goes up, so it won't let you deliver a hypoxic mixture to the patient. Ordinarily the nitrous would move up with the O2. The next thing you check, and these will be different on each machine, is the O2 calibration system. On this machine, it's covered down here, and then on the vent, leave the calibrator open to room air, go to O2 calibration and hit 21%. While that's calibrating, there's other things you can do in your room, like setting up your EKG leads, your blood pressure cuff, your pulse oximeter, and make sure that you have your airway, your laryngoscope, oral airways, and everything set up for your intubation. So it takes a few minutes to calibrate. What I like to do is fill my vaporizers at this point. So as you can see, your vaporizers come with color-coded fillers as a safety mechanism. The purple, which is ISO, won't fit on SIVO. So you match the colors, same thing, color-coded. This would not fit onto the SIVO. You press down to fill, and you can see the line filling. After it reaches maximum, it won't fill anymore. So that one's filled. Make sure your cap is tight. Once again, make sure your caps are tight. Okay, so at this point, your O2 calibration is done. So you can come down and make sure that this fits and screws in tight so there's not a leak in your system. So we filled our vaporizers. The next thing I like to do is check my CO2 absorbent. So unclick your CO2 absorbent on your machine. As you can see, there is some used up by the violet color. I would leave this. This seems to be, still okay. I wouldn't change this. But if you would change it, you would empty it out, get new filters, and make sure you shake it to reduce the chance of channeling. Replace your CO2. Make sure it's tight, because you don't want to leak in your system. The next thing I would do is fill my circuit and make sure that there's no leak. You can either, some people like to hold in here. I just take the mask off and I hold it at the Y piece. Turn your APL pop-off valve all the way on. Hold your O2 flush valve and hold your thumb over the Y piece. Your goal is to get 30 centimeters water and allow it to hold that pressure for at least 10 seconds. And the next part, you can check your scavenging as well. Check your scavenging system by turning the APL valve completely off, and the scavenging system is functioning correctly. This is your active system, which takes your inhalation agents and waste gas out of the OR. This is your bag that always has somewhat of a negative pressure, and this knob right here is where you would adjust that pressure. So it should always be deflated to know that the gases are being correctly scavenged. Another way to check the scavenging system is to completely open up your APL valve, hold the Y piece on your circuit, and hold the O2 flush, and make sure that your pressure does not go over 10 centimeters water while holding the flush valve. Next, you would check your ventilator by removing the bag, placing it over your Y piece, and switching to the ventilator mode. As you can see, the bellows don't fill, so you have to get either enough fresh gas flow, or you can hit your O2 flush valve as long as it's not during inspiration. And then at this point, I like to set my ventilator mode for my first patient of the day so that it's all set. So adjust your alarms by going to alarm settings, and as we all learned, the most important is the minute ventilation alarm, and make sure that all alarms are on and functioning. As you can see, there's no leak. Our artificial lung here is functioning correctly, and the inspiratory valve and expiratory valve in the ventilator are one way and functioning. Like I said, I like to wait and leave my bellows up. Switch back to my bag mode. The next thing you can do is you can check your end tidal CO2 by turning on your monitor. As you can see by blowing into the CO2, you have good end tidal, and it's working. The last thing I'll show you is in the event that you would have to change an oxygen cylinder, which you will. So when changing the O2 cylinder, you want to make sure that it's completely off. Hold the cylinder by the body, untwist the holder, pull the cylinder off. As you can see, the correct pin index safety system, and always check to make sure proper O-rings are intact and not aged. When you come back with your new cylinder, you will open it before to get any dust off of the cylinder. Once again, pin index safety, it only fits that specific cylinder. Close it and give this a good tightening. The last thing you can do is check your O2 auxiliary to make sure it is functioning. For the next part, I'll have my classmate David Cookmanick explain to you further about the APL valve.